Ah, good morning, traveler. I pray that the deities of Nine granted you the most peaceful of sleep to refresh your weary and restless spirit. I trust that clarity of mind has found you on this beautiful day, yes? Very good. As I mentioned before, you are always welcome here, traveler. This temple is an open resting place for those who should be as brave as to traverse the bogs of Galar. We have all the food, drink, and tranquility you could possibly desire, and you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. You needn't worry of things far away that might be troubling you. While you're here in the safety of this temple, you are welcome to let all of your worries and troubles simply drift away. Let things that make you uneasy, or ideas that are worrisome, abandon you for the time that you share with me here. Now, I see that you indeed dreamt many times of what outcomes you might experience upon bestowing the rune to each of the many individuals that you formed a bond with along your journey. Let's talk about them for a bit, to maybe make your decision a little bit easier, shall we? First, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Velika, the ostracized Lamia in the cave, whom you met at the beginning of your journey. Surely you saw a quality in her of loneliness that spoke to you on an emotional level. Your desire to mend her broken heart proves that you truly have the best interest of others at heart. Next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Camellia, the kind-hearted dryad who presented you with a magical flower in return for giving her your time to admire the flowers which she worked so hard to care for. Your selflessness was proven in how willing you were to show all of her hard work some much-needed appreciation. After her, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Mira, a wounded dark elf whose wounds you tended to, even in the midst of her protest. You saw through her guarded attitude and realized that rejection was the cause for her bitter demeanor. Offering her the rune was a representation of a desire to heal from prior rejections that you might have experienced yourself, or possibly witnessed others experiencing. And next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Cheshire, the wily feline beast who took to guarding a fictitious bridge in order to gain some companionship. You saw through her trickery and were able to earn her trust, something that many others had broken in the past. After her, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Mycelia, a dragon whom had lost her lover to the clutches of time and mortality. You mirrored all of the qualities of which she had fallen in love with in her late consort. You rekindled a flame in her heart that she had imagined had died with her lover so many years ago. Next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Borella, a fiery arachna whose web you tread across unknowingly. She attempted to fool you into believing she meant you harm, but in reality, you were able to see that she was acting out of fear. You reached out to her, and your desire to protect those who are afraid brought you to the decision to offer her the rune. Then, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Kajeli, a proud yet distracted Dullahan, who was loyal and pledged her service to you in return for your aid in finding her disembodied head. You saw a loyal quality in her that made you wish to return it tenfold. Loyalty is a quality which you value highly, and no doubt wanted to share with her. Next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Talia, a mermaid who loved to hear tales of adventures which she could never see for herself. You selflessly spent your time sharing the stories that she wanted to hear so badly. You saw the happiness in her eyes when you patiently spent your time regaling her with tales of your travels. You wanted to be able to bring her that happiness as often as possible. After her, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Agrella, a ghost whose memories had been snatched away by a strange wickedness in the forest. You put her mind at ease and helped her to remember the things that hurt the most in order to release her from the cycle of pain. You sought to end her pain because it was a pain that you sought to end in yourself. Next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Hellenora, a mighty centaur who operated a tavern on the edge of the forest. You saw independence and strength in the way that she commanded her property and served her guests. You wanted to show her the respect you knew that she deserved. After that, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Prowless, a clumsy witch who was severely oppressed by those who wished to deny her of her rightful authority. You wished to stand up for those who are unable to stand up for themselves, and you wanted to see her overcome her oppressors. Then, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Isla, a wily manticore who required you to pledge her your favor. You saw in her the desire for a companion who would not take advantage of her or her territory. She saw that you were true in your words, and did not sense that you would betray her. You were able to win her trust, because you are someone who often keeps their word. Next, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Belphazine, the gargoyle who first presented you with the rune. You admired her dedication, and she saw that you were someone who was not full of greed, and not someone who would exploit her in order to obtain more runes. You proved to her that you were trustworthy. After, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Pallas, a self-conscious lich in the bog. She worried that no one would ever find her beautiful again, but you put her fears to rest and assured her that you would love her just the way that she was. You were able to see the inner beauty in those who you would encounter. Then, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Miverna, a heartbroken girl who was tricked by the bog into believing that her heart was indeed stolen away and needed to be found. You offered her your own heart, and in return, you were able to break the curse which the bog had laid upon her. After her, you imagined the possibility of presenting the rune to Ophthet, a girl whose loved ones abandoned her body in the bog, and whose eyesight was lost to the curse of time. Your selflessness allowed her to see again, a gift that is far beyond any riches or fame. All of these things are the futures that are within your grasp, traveler. And within all of them, I can see the qualities in you that define you as the wonderful person that you are. The choice is yours to make, traveler. But before you do, I have prayed to Valdur, and also to the most benevolent goddess in Clara, that you might consider me to be the recipient of your rune. Surely you have proven yourself to be worthy to take my hand in union, and I would be truly honored if you would allow me to spend my life by your side. You are a truly amazing individual, traveler. I wish to spend my life with someone such as you.